Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm the Game Bastard Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
Austin.
We're playing Brindlewood Bay, a game about little old ladies hunting down murderers and fighting Cthulhus. This is our second session of Brindlewood Bay. If you're just finding the podcast for the first time, roll back one, start there. You're going to love it. It's great. Also, if you'd like a copy of Brindlewood Bay, we're giving away one.
Oh.
Yes.
Really?
We are.
Are we eligible?
No.
Oh.
I didn't sign off on this.
Jason Cordova, the creator of Brindlewood Bay, said, hey, you guys want to give away some copies? We said yes.
And so we are.
Yeah, so we will post on our socials a...
Giveaway post.
Yeah. That's what they call them. Yeah, we'll make a post. We'll make a post on our shit. Yeah, so if you share it on Facebook, retweet it on Twitter, or share it to your story on Instagram, you're entered. Period.
Yeah.
We've got 2 copies, though. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you're automatically entered.
That's right.
1 copy will go to our Patreon people, and 1 will go out to our regular ass listeners.
Yeah, and
Who
I'm
are
gonna
just as cool. They just don't pay us.
I'm gonna be signing both copies in Todd's blood.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah, it's like that Kiss thing back in the day. I'm gonna like slice a finger open,
No, we won't actually be signing them. But,
squeeze some blood into a syringe.
but yeah, you can get a copy of Brindlewood Bay just from being a fan of Bastard Quest.
Yeah.
You can also pay cash money for them. They're for sale.
Good.
And then you can gather together any bastards that you know and play the game yourself.
So yeah, once we post that, I don't know when that's going to be, at some point in the future, because we record these early, but from the date of the post, you've got 2 weeks to share, retweet, blah, blah,
That's
blah,
right.
whatever. Join the Patreon, whatever.
Yeah, so get your copy of Brindlewood Bay, grab Grandma, and start us solving a mystery.
Spank her silly.
Or other activities with family members.
My family does different things.
You've not seen your family in years, Corey. Don't be silly.
Have you seen my old lady in this game?
So Corey, remind us of who you're playing.
I'm playing Splinda Ham. Mm-hmm. She's a woman who has had a history.
Period.
Yeah, not in a while.
Oh, God.
She's well traveled, let's say.
Yeah, she's met many people. She has a lot of friends.
Ernest Borgnine.
She's the Forrest Gump of horny.
Austin, who are you playing?
I'm playing Birdie Ruth Raven, an antique enthusiast who loves bingo night.
Todd?
I am playing Lurleen Kitten Ivy. She prefers to go by Kitten. She is originally from the South and moved up to Massachusetts with her then husband, who was unfaithful.
You all have the condition blood splattered because someone was just shot in the head mere feet away from you. The lights to the morgue flicker back on. Andrew, the butler that you had just been interrogating, is still propped in the chair, though most of his head is splattered on the wall and the floor. Some of it's on the ceiling.
Guys, don't panic. We're gonna be fine. I've had blood splatter on me before.
Splenda, did you do that?
Where?
That there, the dead butler. You always talk about how much you like waving around your piece, and when you finally did it, somebody's head got blowed off.
Yes, it appears Splenda's gun accidentally discharged.
Oh, God.
She John Travolta'd this dude's braids.
Wait, fucking seriously?
Yes, your gun.
Splinda killed him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But she
Yeah.
just fired indiscriminately in the
Accident.
dark?
It was an accidental discharge.
I'm sorry.
Well,
It's usually on the other side.
Now, oh God, she had one of her spells.
Oh, does this happen often?
She just twitches and shit happens. I don't know.
Okay, so Splinda's good at impersonating the police, but I don't think she needs a involuntary manslaughter charge at this point. I'm going to use one of the crowns.
Okay.
Crown of the Queen.
All right.
When you put on this crown, I've got to narrate something, right, Kyle?
Yes. So the way the crown mechanic works is you essentially narrate a new outcome, a new timeline, so to speak, from what happened as a result of the bad roll.
Okay.
And
Since Todd failed the previous roll.
he rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Which was a miss on
meddling move.
correct. And so it'd go to 7 to 9, which is, I believe, there's still a complication, but you still get a hit. You still get a clue, and you don't have the worst possible outcome.
We don't completely shit the bed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're not going to
Murder
splatter
the butler. And I
the
spend
butler's
the rest of
brains.
my days in prison.
Sure.
And the mechanic that allows us to re-narrate that scene is basically the equivalent of like a flashback in how we did Eat the Reich, where the crown that we use kind of gives us a prompt for some character building scene where we just learn more about the character.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the Crown of the Queen.
Okay.
I'm going to do a flashback of my fondest memory of my late partner.
Which one?
Splinda stares wistfully into the distance and reminisces. Yes, back when I used to date Charles Wichman, I remember packing his lunch that morning. And yes, making sure that rifle was clean and ready to go, as he often asked me to do. But I learned a lot about cleaning rifles, and I know that a well-kept rifle won't shoot a butler. No, basically, she's remembering, like if you keep a well-kept weapon, it won't just go off willy-nilly, and if it does, it just hits them in like the calf.
Yes, I mean it only hits what's intended, much like Charles Whitman and his victims at the University of Texas bell tower.
Questioned and released by
Charming.
So that's gonna bump the roll up to a 7 to 9. So there's gonna be a complication.
just like that fateful morning.
Holy fucking shit!
Dozens of them.
Wait till you hear the story about how she cleaned Jeffrey Dahmer's oven.
That's in the future. She starts time traveling with Chan.
Quantum leap with Splinda Ham.
Remember that time I became a nurse in Chicago? Well, Jan showed up and I escaped just in the nick of time.
Oh boy. Mohammed Atta?
I saw that guy talking to his dog and I thought, you know what would be funny?
So when the power of the morgue unexpectedly goes out, Splinda is able to remember her gun safety courses.
Which she learned from John Wilkes Booth.
And prevent the accidental discharge of the weapon that would have otherwise ended the butler, Andrew's life.
Oh, so he's not shot now?
He's not dead. So when the lights go out, Splinda's in the process of safely holstering her pistol, so it's not pointed directly at the butler's head. So when she's startled, the gun goes off, but instead of hitting the butler, it ricochets off the floor and then off the wall and then into Andrew Krause's corpse.
Yeah, okay.
Or excuse me, Albert Krause's corpse, and splatters you all with blood that way. So the butler is screaming, the lights come back on, the emergency lights filling the room. Dr. Paul Martin, the coroner, comes in. Oh, what the hell's going on, ladies? Gone for 5 minutes, I hear gunshots.
Thinking quickly, Birdie steps forward and being kind of a reckless gambler, just kind of leans into the butler and says, all right, now you was about to tell us something about who you saw on that boat. You've seen what'll happen if you don't tell us.
Will you tell us more about the feat and what you heard, but don't dwell on the feat because Splinda might get a little excited.
It was the daughter, Sarah.
Okay, let's go home.
No, Sarah Krause. She was arguing with Albert.
She was arguing with her daddy.
Yes, over something related to the will. I wasn't sure what, and then, well, one thing led to another, and I had to go back and check on my souffle.
All right, well, you've been very helpful, Mr. Andrew. We appreciate it. And we're sorry about the gunshot. And Dr. Paul, we're sorry that there's an additional bullet in the corpse.
It's fine, he's dead.
Yes, and if you're looking for a new job somewhere around town, the bingo hall's looking for a new ball turner.
So Dr. Martin is muttering about having to dig the bullet out and goes and gets his chainsaw.
Ball turner is what they called Splinda back in the 50s.
That was when I was with Ted Turner.
So you've learned all you can from the morgue. Where is your next investigation scene going to take place?
I think we should go and talk to his daughter, Sarah. I mean, I've got a little bit of experience interrogating young women.
Jesus.
So there's the Regal Lady, which is the yacht, which is docked at the marina right now. But there's also the marina itself. And yes, you presume that the rest of the family is on the yacht.
Okay. So to review real quick, we did find a few clues at the morgue. An expensive watch still ticking that was set 2 hours late that belonged to Krause. Mm-hmm. He had a bruise.
It was caused by the butt of a pistol.
Yeah. And then we know that he had an argument on the deck of the yacht with his daughter, Sarah.
And all the paintbrushes.
What paintbrushes, Splinda?
Perhaps it was a dream I had. I used to romp with Andy Warhol. I inspired his famous cans. Because of my cans.
That's where I figured that was going.
Ooga. As they say, the young ruffians.
I can't think of any less appropriate descriptor for Andy Warhol as a young ruffian.
She was part of that scene. She was actually the inspiration for the Velvet Underground song Sister Ray.
I was actually the inspiration behind the banana on that album cover.
So, heading to the yacht.
Yes.
Yes.
I once did peyote with Tatum O'Neal on the set of Paper Moon.
Tatum O'Neal was what, 10 when she did that movie?
The yacht, the Regal Lady, docked the Brindlewood Bay Marina. Seagulls soar overhead, shrieking their avian calls. Cool breeze. The yacht itself is blindingly white, everything polished to a shine. But it's docked there, and you can see there's a man in a crew uniform on the bridge. You can see people moving around inside, but it's not like there's any sort of security or anything like that.
All right, girls, how are we going to talk ourselves onto this yacht? I mean, do we have a cover story we can come up with that would make them feel more comfortable about asking them about the guy who just died by being thrown off of this thing?
Well, I'll tell you what, honey. I've got an uncover story, and Birdie steps off of the bus. She still has her green visor on, but she's changed into a one-piece bathing suit and is just ready to saunter onto this yacht as if they were invited.
Splinda is now completely nude, as is tradition.
Kitten opens up her purse and extracts a Instamatic camera from it and immediately starts taking photos of Splinda and Birdie as if this is something normal to do.
So we're all just tourists taking a girls' trip to the dock.
Absolutely.
So a voice, "Can I help you, ladies? Are you lost?"
Yes, I was wondering. I was trying to take some fashion photos of my two friends here, and I was wondering if we could come aboard this yacht and take some pictures there.
So this is a man in the officer's whites, gray at the temples, and has the kind of faux megawatt smile that he thinks a ship's captain is supposed to have after watching too many episodes of Love Boat.
So what do you say, Captain Steubing? Can we come aboard?
This reminds me of when I spent time on the Free Winds with L. Ron Hubbard.
Now, I'm thinking this is going to be a day move.
It sounds like a day move to me, to get on the boat.
Yes.
Here's a question, Kyle.
Yes, Austin.
We all have the condition blood splattered.
Yep. You do.
Is this something that we can remedy, or
It is.
how does that?
Not immediately. I mean, you should have thought about
Well,
that.
I mean, I would assume we changed at some. I mean, we very demonstrably changed on the way here.
You're still blood splattered.
Okay.
Splinda looks like she has a farmer's tan of blood.
Captain Steubing, please don't. This is all part of the makeup. Okay, I am shooting these photos for Brindlewood Fashion Magazine.
Yeah, we're having a wine and cheese party. We've already had the wine, and then she kind of pushes Lurlene's camera closer toward him and says, "Now we need the cheese."
So, Todd, name what you're afraid will happen if you fail.
We won't be invited onto the yacht, and the authorities will be called.
I think the yacht will just head out into the harbor
Okay.
and just leave you at the dock.
Okay.
What attribute are you using here? This is probably presence.
A composure could work.
I can see composure, sure.
Okay, because I have a +1 in composure.
Trying to keep your composure amidst these two.
Yes. Two friends splattered in blood, one of whom is naked. That is a 9, and I get a +1, so it's a 10.
Nice.
I do what is intended and hold steady.
So, Captain Robert Lee Walker III, or Curly as his friends call him, extends his arm to Splinda. Come aboard, ma'am. And you guys are on the Krause's yacht.
Just the most upsetting interrogation team you've ever seen.
You can ask questions of Captain Curly. You can search for clues. And the captain tells you also that Albert Krause, the victim, his wife, is below deck, Allison. The kids have gone to the Marina restaurant.
Captain Curly, we're representatives of the police. I've misplaced my badge.
Well, I believe anything you say, Miss Ham.
That's good.
Why don't you join me up on the bridge? I can show you how a captain guides a boat.
Ahoy.
So he guides Splinda up to the bridge. What are Birdie and Kitten doing?
Well, quite used to making herself at home in almost any environment, Birdie swoops over to grab one of the complimentary robes with the name of the yacht emblazoned on it and wraps it about herself and then goes exploring the boat.
Okay.
Kitten takes pictures. You know, it's a crime scene, so she's walking all around the yacht taking photos of anything she can.
That's a good idea.
Is that a meddling move, Todd?
Yes.
Looking for clues, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And while he's
absolutely.
doing that, Birdie is going to go snooping around Albert Krause's quarters.
Oh, okay.
Where the wife is.
Splinda is trying to figure out a way to get even more naked, and the only thing that's coming to mind is shaving her head. But she'll put more thought into this later on in her cozy little place.
So, Austin, it's pretty easy for Birdie to find the master suite on the yacht. You go inside. There's a woman laying in the bed. She has a sleeping mask on. She's snoring loudly. There's a half-empty glass of water on the bedstand and a bottle of pills.
Yeah, lewds.
As someone who's smuggled a lot of narcotics, she's snoring the sleep of someone that's deep in a spice dream, as Boba Fett might call it.
All right, that sounds good. I swoop up and take those pills. Then I'm going to start looking around the room.
All right. You start going through the Krause's thing, the clothes, golf clubs, shoe drawers. Make your meddling move.
This is going to be, I would imagine, reason.
Sure.
I have a +1 in reason. Rolling 2d6. Wow, that's a 13.
Cool.
All right. So, yeah, this is the highest roll of the game so far. So, you find a void clue or you learn something about the dark conspiracy in Brindlewood Bay. I think we're going to go with a void clue here.
Ooh, okay. Now, the dark conspiracy in Brindlewood Bay, that is the overarching kind of plot line that you described last time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will he also get a clue about the current mystery in this situation?
Yeah, he would find a clue relating to the murder and then a void clue.
Okay.
Austin, going through the things, the only thing unusual that Birdie finds is a slip of paper with a sequence of numbers written on it.
Okay.
There's nothing else written on the paper, but it's just a sequence of numbers jotted down. You're not sure, is it like a bank routing number, an account number, a phone number? You don't know.
Oh, that looks like a bingo. Do I need to know the specific sequence, or is this just a random sequence of numbers?
It's a random sequence of numbers.
Okay.
But then looking through a porthole, you could see across the bay to the beach.
Wait, there's a portal in her room?
Porthole.
Oh, okay.
They're on
I'm an
boats.
idiot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the dread portal in the middle of the room. Oh, did I not mention that in my description?
I wasn't listening while I was writing down the other clue.
I mean, just everywhere in Massachusetts. That's how they travel.
The goat,
Very efficient.
The
I'm
goat-legged
stupid. I'm
Beelzebub in the corner with the heart made of dead flies looks at you and says, "Et tu, Brute?" No, oh, did I not mention that? Sorry, a porthole.
He's your Uber driver through the portal.
Charon the boatman.
So I'm looking out a portal.
You're looking at a porthole across the bay, and you can see a small peninsula with police tape over the end, and you put two together and think, oh, okay, that's where the body was, dredged up, probably.
Gotcha. Okay.
But there appeared to be a group of people praying near the spot.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And despite the season, they're wearing very dark clothes. And this is New England, so this would be unusual for a religious group.
Yeah, Kentucky would be fine. There's just piles of people doing that shit everywhere.
Not in New England in the 80s.
By the way, Porthole is what they called Splinda on the USS Arizona.
Oh.
Now, Corey, Splinda is on the bridge with Captain Curly, and she'll have plenty of time to question him.
Okay.
If you wish.
Sure.
What is Splinda's strategy?
And then Omar Sharif took a dump in the fountain. So tell me, Captain, what do you remember of the night that guy died?
Do you mean Albert Krauss, the wealthy financier?
Oh, yes. You might have seen me around. I was sitting on his face on Thursday.
Mystery solved.
Well, to be honest, I didn't notice anything unusual. I was at the back of the fish market, engaged in a high-stakes gambling situation
Oh, yes.
with some of the fishmongers, longshoremen, you know.
Oh, yeah. Those fish wharves get wild.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah.
It was kind of a Big Trouble in Little China type situation, but much more Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long story short, we killed a bog witch, and fairly certain I'm a godfather of 2 young children.
Tell me about it. I know Dick Butkus.
Okay, that's fascinating. So, Corey, you can make a meddling move to get more information
Okay.
if you want.
So tell me what you know about the Krause family and their relationships. I'm the cops. You may not see a gun, but it's on me.
Well, you've impressed a Robert Lee Walker III, also known as Captain Curly, ma'am.
So meddling move, right?
Yes. Now, your blood-splattered condition will give you disadvantage here,
Okay.
because that is a turn-off. So with disadvantage, you're going to roll 3d6 and choose the 2 lowest dice.
Okay, can I use composure on this?
Sure.
Okay. I got a 2 in composure. That's an 8.
Yeah, so that's a hit with a complication.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, Splinda. One of the reasons the Krauses wanted me to bring them out to Brindlewood Bay, I brought them specifically to Brindlewood Bay. I love this part of the country. There have been repeated calls to the house from a debt collection agency, or so I'm told. That's the scuttlebutt on the ship, a little fancy word that means rumors, but it's only used aboard ships anyway. So don't know what the debt was or who was trying to collect it or from whom, but that was a big topic of conversation that got us out of the Krause house.
And where do the Krauses' house live at? I made a word sentence pile.
So he gestures to the north where Boston is, and unfortunately splashes you with his martini. And so now you reek of alcohol.
Yeah, but it washed the blood off.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
That's a new condition you have, reeks of alcohol.
That's okay. I knew Peter Sellers. Okay, so now Splinda is blood-soaked and reeks of alcohol. Got it.
Yep. So Todd, Kitten is taking pictures.
Meddling move and reason.
Yep.
With a +1 in reason. That's a 7. Clue with a complication.
Searching around, taking pictures, you find an expensive diamond earring, but its mate is nowhere to be found. And you find it on the deck, wedged between 2 slats. And that's when Sheriff Dalrymple arrives, ushers everyone off the boat, because there's been reports of a streaker in the area. And when he gets to the bridge, there's this exasperated, "Damn it, Splinda."
Yes.
Go home and put some pants on. So the sheriff kicks you all out with various admonitions to damn well keep your clothes on in Brindlewood Bay. This isn't Tallahassee.
I learned that in South Dakota, sir. You don't have the stones to hang out up there.
So you're ushered off of the yacht. Allison, the matriarch of the family, never woke up at any point when Birdie was searching the master suite. Now remember, you guys can do cozy moves to try to remove conditions.
That just means we go home and squat for a while, right?
Could those cozy moves be multi-purpose?
Well, potentially.
Because what I was going to suggest is for us to go have some brunch at the Marina restaurant where we could clear our conditions and also spy on the Krause daughter, Sarah.
So long as your cozy activity is involved, potentially, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, we went over this last session, but what is everybody's cozy activity?
Scrapbooking for Splinda.
Birdie's is antiques and furniture.
kittens is spoons.
Right.
They got those at the restaurant.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have antiques.
So you go to the marina restaurant.
2 for non-smoking, 1 for nude section, please.
The maitre d' again tells Splinda for the third or fourth time this month, there's no nude section.
Okay, give me one of those rugs again.
And they give her the robe they keep there for her.
Yes.
You guys get a table at the marina. You're close enough to the ocean for the salt spray to be in the air. Some locals and tourists. And on the other side of the restaurant, you can see 3 young people, like teenagers to college age,
Get him!
sitting at a table. Well, you could tell from their appearance that they are clearly descended from one Albert Krauss. There's the
They have
familial
the same
resemblance.
butt-shaped scar on their foreheads.
And everybody can clear one condition.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to clear the blood-soaked condition.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine you're fine reeking of alcohol.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And the other 2 just have the one
We just have the
soaked in
blood, yeah.
blood
Yeah.
condition.
So we're clean again.
We're all good.
Yeah.
Right. Frank from Hellraiser over here.
They have one of those outdoor showers before you go into the marina restaurant.
Oh, yeah, just
Yeah.
a spritz.
Well, given that it's the spoons here and triggering on Kitty's cozy activity, you can also stumble on a clue relevant to the active mystery. And apparently you tell the keeper what it is.
I'm going to say that the daughter, Sarah, is only wearing one earring.
Dun, dun, dun.
Since there's not a lot of scrapbooking material around the restaurant,
No.
Splinda does what she's had to do in the past in these situations and does like a memento thing, and she starts giving herself homemade tattoos.
Now all I can see is Splinda with like Victor Zsasz tallies on her body for every celebrity she's ever been with.
She's just black with ink. So your third round of Mai Tais arrives a little while later, and the Krause kids are getting up to leave. And this would be a point to intercept and question them if you wish, or you can let them return to the yacht.
Yeah, I'd say we walk over and talk to him.
Hey, youngs, before you leave, how about a Mai Tai with old ladies? That usually attracts the young people. Yeah.
So that sounds like a day move. What's the worst thing that could happen here? What's the biggest fear?
Well, they could tell us our music sucks. That's always a bad thing. The worst possible situation is they don't respect their elders. I mean, that's obvious, but
Yeah.
Sure, and I would think, given that this is a very wealthy family, that they could have us banned from the marina restaurant.
oh yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Or make it so they didn't have my robe available. No, at the end of the day, if they just completely ignore us like rich spoiled brats and walked off, that would be the worst scenario.
Okay, yeah. that's
Agreed.
fair.
This would be presents, right?
Yes. I
Makes
think
sense
so.
to me. I have a 0 in presents, despite being mostly naked. Do I get any bonuses for being? Because one tit's out. Get an advantage.
I'll
for
give
that.
you advantage. For that.
Thank you. Always keep one of the girls out just in case. Also, a good way to check what the weather's going to be like.
6 more weeks of winter.
Back in you go, Punxsutawney Paula. That's what I call my left one.
The right one is named after Pol Pot.
Oh, Punxsutawney Pole. Oh no, 6 more weeks of genocide. God damn it.
He saw his shadow a lot.
What the Bill Murray movie where the genocide happens over and over again.
That is a 9.
So on a 7 to 9 on a day move. So keeper will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it.
Well, I think that's obvious.
I mean, one's out. Gotta go through with it. You don't put one away, you bring one more out. Is the only option.
So you realize that the kids could avoid you just permanently, and it would be much more difficult to question them. Or you cannot call attention to yourself now, just let them leave and approach them later in a different environment.
So the complication is the danger that we lose this opportunity permanently.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be harder. Basically, like, the next time you try to interact with them, it's basically got to be a night move in a more dangerous situation.
Okay.
If you go through with it.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Or do we want to use another crown and make it a success?
Yeah, if you want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I can use a crown.
Okay. That's fine with me.
All right, so a scene in the present day showing a private side of you very few get to see. That's the notch on the crown that I have chosen.
Well, what does that look like, Austin?
As Sarah is kind of passing the table along with her other siblings,
She pulls a tit out. I've never seen that.
Birdie kind of waves to her and says, well, hey there, Miss Krause. Do you remember me? I was one of the ones teaching those special needs children at the school you work at. Flashback cut to Birdie loves sharing her knowledge and empowering the youth. And so every other Thursday, she teaches bingo to the special needs children at the local elementary school.
Okay.
They gamble with real money.
Okay. Or not South Dakota money, like real money.
And House gets a percentage.
Yeah, okay.
They cut in the administration at the school.
But she makes quite a bit of money. So it's a great cause. And it's something she believes in.
So Sarah Krause responds warmly to this. She does recognize Birdie. She calls the other two siblings, David and Emily, all come and sit down at your table and start pounding Mai Tais. While you talk about how, yes, you are teaching these special needs children how to gamble.
Yes.
And she's been meaning to bring it up because there have been a number of complaints. Not from parents.
Yeah, because they're in on
Yeah.
the VIG.
Yeah.
Casinos. Local casinos
yeah.
have been getting taken by special needs kids.
There's been threats from the Seneca Nation.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 80s. They have to make a living somehow.
You can't teach kids how to count cards.
You can if they're good at it.
So you guys have some openings to question the Krause children about what happened the night of the murder.
I was Gus Grissom's +1 on Gemini 3.
That's nice. And they're exchanging looks, and you can tell their main question is, who the hell's Gus Grissom?
Hey, look, y'all. My name is Lurleen Kitten Ivy. You can call me Kitten, and me and Birdie are good friends. And also, this is Splinda Ham.
I was patient 0 for silicone. Just one.
The one she's got out.
Yes.
Well, when you're on a budget.
That's why I lean when I walk.
The other one's jellied napalm.
Got that one from the NVA. I'm friendly with all nations. Linda.
Is that her?
That's a war cry.
Oh, we would have come home a lot sooner.
Anyway, let me be one of the first to offer my condolences. We heard what happened to your daddy, and we're very sorry.
And we saw his corpse, and I'm sorry for putting a slug in it.
They're all somewhat confused at that, but they thank Kitten for her condolences.
You know what? I lost my father in similar circumstances. And I was just wondering if you would like to share your memories of what happened that night, it being yesterday.
All right, make your meddling move.
Yes. I think we've established this will be a presence
Yeah.
ability, which I have a 0 in, so... Well, that's a 6. So, since I rolled a 6, which is not a success...
It is not.
I am going to put on the crown of the queen, and I am going to do a flashback to my fondest memory of my late partner.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't wait.
So, Kitten flashes back to when her husband, Herman, was lying dead in his casket at the funeral.
Okay.
It was the happiest she's ever been. And that's it.
Okay.
So the kids tell you Each one goes through what they were doing that night and anything they saw, and none of you get any new information. And nothing really seems to stick out. It all sounds about the same.
Only one thing sticking out over here. Hey, girl.
And then after they leave, Kitten notices that on the napkin that Emily Krause was using is a scrawled message.
Is that earring girl?
No, that's Sarah.
That's the younger sister.
Ah.
It says, "Can't talk here. Fish market. Midnight."
It's a bit late.
Oh, I better get my glow sticks.
Well,
What? Oh, the fisherman's wharf.
yeah, there we go. Well, I swan, I think we're going to have to go and talk to this girl.
I'm going to need a nap before that.
Yeah, it is mid-afternoon, so you do have there's quite a lot of time before midnight. Plenty of time to go back to your house, take a good little nap.
Eat a Valium.
Whatever you do.
That's okay, you guys. I got a bottle of Ludes now.
This reminds me of the time I smoked my weight in hashish with Don Knotts.
So essentially, Emily is going to give you a clue, but the complication is that she's only going to do it in a different time and place.
Now I'm just thinking about Don Knotts smoking hash. Well, I'm high off my ass.
Oh, this reefer has a kick.
Calm and murder go together. Murder and calm.
Pretty sure that would explain his entire characterization as Mr. Furley on Three's Company.
And the incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
Just high as fuck. Dude. I'm a fish.
Well, no, Splinda did that to him.
Well,
His eyes weren't wide when we started, but
What?
they were when we were finished.
what are we doing at a wharf?
So, Todd, Kitten is tied into meeting Emily
Yes.
at the fish market at midnight. What about Splinda and Birdie?
So I think we'll probably just accompany Lurleen to the fish market. But I'll tell you what, I have an idea for another cozy move if you wanted to go ahead and clear your conditions.
Of reeking of alcohol?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just going to be a matter of time for right back at her.
That one comes back.
So with her fascination with antiques and furniture, Birdie spots one of those antique sightseeing telescopes or whatever those things are that are installed on like the edges of...
Oh, you put a coin in it?
Yeah.
And it's shaped to your face but bigger?
Yeah. And she wants to... they'll go play with that just a minute. But it's a good excuse to be able to look through it and take another look at the peninsula where she saw those
Oh,
potential cultists praying.
okay. Are they still out there?
They're gone by the time you guys get over there.
Did they leave any amulets or anything?
They left a giant stone altar
an obelisk.
carven in the image of Balsamon the Black. Great outer demon of the third dark.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I used to romp with him.
Or it's just a pilgrim. You're not sure which.
Okay. But I don't reek anymore.
Tone. It is a moonless night in Brindlewood Bay. A cold wind blows through the empty stalls of the fish market, and everything reeks of haddock. You're all huddled together
It's my new band, by the way, Reeks of Haddock.
in your little old lady galoshes and slickers. Because it's New England. A rain could come up any time. You never know. An old nor'easter, as they call them. You see Emily Krause. She's standing under the one street light, the back of the fish market, silhouetted by that slender shaft of bright white against the black of night that is the rest of Brindlewood Bay. The three of you approach, and she approaches you hesitantly, reluctant to tell you about what she found.
Actually, she only sees two of them approach. At this moment, Splinda drops from the shadows, completely covered in camouflage, face paint. She places a sharpened toothbrush against Emily's throat. Don't make any sudden moves, you bitch.
She is completely covered in camo grease paint, but she's still naked.
Emily feels one naked tit against her back.
So Emily Krause tells you about some mail that she saw before the Krauses left on their yacht trip. She didn't know what it was. It was a bunch of lab results for a lab in Boston It had her dad's name on it. And so she didn't want to ask her parents because she didn't know what it was. And once she brought it up briefly to her mom, and her mom acted weird about it. So she called a friend of hers who is a med student at a BU. And they told her that the lab mainly handled paternity tests. And so she doesn't know why on earth there would be any of that going on. Because as far as she knew, there was never any question about any of the paternity of her or her siblings.
Here's my first question. Who is your mail carrier? Is it Chad or Anthony? I know them both very well.
It's Anthony.
They bring the coupons a day early to my home.
But, so there was a paternity test done. That is the clue that Emily gives you.
Okay.
What else you got?
Is there anything that we can do for you, child?
You guys are like cops, right?
Yes.
Probably.
Just find out who killed my dad.
We have one more question for you, honey. What can you tell us about Albert's relationship with Sarah? And I'm fine making another meddling move here if necessary.
That is very necessary.
Okay. And I'm going to use presence. I have a presence of 1. And I want to kind of give her the impression that we know more than we do.
Okay.
That's an 8.
She says, well, I know they were arguing the night he died on the deck of the yacht.
Well, I was thinking just more in terms of their overall relationship, not just last night.
So she describes that Sarah's the oldest and has always had the highest expectations set on her. And that always caused friction between her and Albert because he had high standards for his eldest, but didn't necessarily hold David or Emily to that same standard.
I felt your father's friction.
So the complication being that you all realize that there's someone watching you from the darkness.
Burt Lancaster. You son of a bitch, I told you it's over.
Of the fish stalls, in addition to Burt Lancaster.
Well, yeah.
He shouts, "Love me, Birdie," and runs into the night.
I'm Splinda.
Oh, whatever. But there's someone watching you from the darkness of one of the empty fish stalls. You just see the shadowy outlines of a person.
Splinda throws a flechette.
Now, any attempt to deal with this person would be a night move,
Okay.
Which are risky, right?
which are the most risky thing in the game. So basically with a night move, that's when you do something risky or face something you fear at night or in a otherwise dark, perilous situation. You have to name what you're afraid will happen if you fail or lose your nerve, just like a day move. The difference being the keeper will tell you how it's worse than that.
If you fail.
If you fail. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can choose to back down or go through with it. After the keeper tells you, well, this would happen. If you go through with it, you roll, your ability, and then we see what happens.
Kitten would like to make a night move.
Okay.
Here's what I want to happen.
All right.
She sees the person who is watching them,
Okay.
and she reaches into her purse and pulls out a pair of spoons that are attached with a chain like spoon nunchucks.
Sure.
Spoon chucks, yes.
Spoon chucks, yes. And she is going to attempt to incapacitate the spy.
Okay. What do you fear will happen if she fails at doing that?
What she fears is that she'll lose both spoons.
Where are those spoons from? Let's talk about this. They got to be good ones.
It's 2 spoons. They're both part of a set. One is Donny Osmond and the other one is Marie.
Right. One's Matthew and one's Gunnar Nelson. Are we that far into the 80s? All right.
I think this would fall under vitality.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's a night move, so it's definitely going to be worse than you fear. Yeah, the spoons will be lost. This intruder will find them and see them and make the connection as to who you are, and they will go burn your house down.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
That
Okay.
is-
and
night
all
move.
your spoons will be destroyed.
Wow.
Oh my God. Guess I'm going to have to replace them with kazoos.
Speaking of which, we got to find a payphone after this. You guys.
Yeah, right? All right. So here we go. It's a night move. Catastrophic consequences.
Now, you can back off. The rules call out that once you hear the keeper's escalation, you can back away from the night move if you
I
wish.
believe in the power of Donnie and Marie. I'm going forward.
One time I thought about backing off from Wilt Chamberlain, but I made the right choice. He's a gentle lover.
Let me tell you why. Because one's a little bit country, one's a little bit rock and roll. Together, they make whoop ass.
That's what I hear.
Using my +1 vitality. That is an 8.
Nice.
So that is a complication.
Yes, but my house doesn't burn down.
There's a complication or cost. So you gain the condition momentarily out of spoons.
Oh, Jesus.
Johnny and Marie lash out into the darkness. There's a muffled cry, ah, and a body thump hits the ground. 3 of you run over, and you see an identity that will be revealed next week
No!
on another episode of Brindlewood Bay and Bastard Quest. This is the actual show.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, we need one of those logo transitions like on the Batman show that says like BB and goes
Yeah.
da-na-na-na-na-na.
You're the art guy. Make one.
I was going to say, can't you do art things with colors?
I've designed 1 or 2 things.
So that was our second episode of Brindlewood Bay. I feel like the mystery is going to come to a head the next session.
Yeah, we've got lots
really?
of clues.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll
I've
see.
got a notebook page full of shit.
I'm completely clueless right now. I have no idea what's happening.
I feel like that fits with Splinda.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun so far, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
I feel like we've gotten way more into this time around. I've definitely got more of a feel for these characters, and the mechanics are a little bit more second nature now.
I like how the mystery kind of grows out from this process.
It's
Yeah.
kind of organic. I like the system. I like the characters.
Yeah.
Like the game.
I love that Kyle can just like throw shit out as far as like what clues are instead of having to have some central narrative already figured out that he has to pull from.
yeah, I don't have to worry about it. It's your fault.
Yeah.
It's your problem.
No, that's a lot of fun. Us creating the story as we go along, type of thing. It's
Yeah, I
amazing.
really like that.
Thank you for listening to all of our patrons. We'd like to thank you first and foremost, and everybody else, thank you also. We appreciate you both equally.
Thanks for your reviews. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your listens.
I don't appreciate them equally. One of them gives us money. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's a great point, Corey.
I love all our Patreon members more than I love my wife and children. Which could be a lot or could be not that much,
Oh, right.
depending on how big of a jerk I am.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And we would also like to thank our sponsor, Barrel and Bond,
Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway in beautiful downtown Paducah, Kentucky.
right there on the banks of the Ohio River.
More than 0 Krauses have disappeared inside their bathroom.
Yeah.
Not high, but it's more than 0.
More than 0, yeah.
The only bad thing about their bathroom is you have to pee into a spoon.
It is off-putting.
And if you're a fan of RPGs, you need dice. And if you need dice, you know where you need to go? NorseFoundry.com. They have all kinds of dice, so many dice, and made out of so many different materials.
That are
Just
mostly
a couple,
metal.
really.
Yeah.
They got really cool ass dice.
No, they're amazing. No, they do have a ton of shit. Like, I don't know the materials, but they're different and wacky.
I think it's bauxite
Silicone.
and, palladium. That's one.
Unobtainium.
Yeah.
They're the first.
Orange number 4.
Tritium.
God's hair. They got that just in. Yeah.
And
They know a guy.
purchase some dice, and when you're checking out, enter promo code CHAM for 10% off.
CHAM.
Right there at checkout.
Gets you a little bastard tickle.
And don't forget to share, retweet, or share to stories the post about the giveaway that's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're listening to this 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But
In which case, you slightly missed it, but
Yeah.
we might be doing something else. Or we might be dead. Who knows?
But also, if you wouldn't mind leaving a review or rate our podcast on shit, and tell a friend more than anything, because that's the funnest shit is when we find out my friend told me about these dumb dudes. We're like, cool.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Yeah.
friend.
And if there's an RPG you think, oh, you guys should definitely play X, tell us about X.
Yeah.
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 Don't tell us about X, because that is,
No.
we've learned enough from Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put this challenge to you, though. We'll call it the Bastard Challenge. Tell two friends about the podcast. One that will definitely like it, and one that definitely won't.
Oh,
Because in addition to liking pranks, sometimes people just do surprising things.
And get into a fight with a stranger. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
Austin.